Disclaimer, this video is meant to be a discussion, not an attack on any parties shown. I have a few problems with this video by JetStarfish and the response by The Hayze.
1.11, the exploration update. With Minecraft at the lowest it's ever been, this update had the potential to turn things around in an instant.
Yeah.
And the only thing they decided to add was Woodland Mansions.
Wait.
I agree that Woodland Mansions are underwhelming for how rare they are, but saying they're the only thing added undermines the work put into the update.
Oh, it seems a bit dishonest right off the bat to say they only added Woodland Mansions.
Agreed.
To the right location.
I like that it's hard, though. That's fun. It's almost more like an Easter egg than anything. Like this enormous freaking house just sitting out in the middle of nowhere that you have to go a ridiculous distance to find. I think Woodland Mansions are better if you think of them as an Easter egg rather than a thing you're actually supposed to find.
I also agree here. They should be rare and hard to find. This gives a reason to explore far away. The bad loot will be talked about soon.
Right?
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, I always thought typo jokes were funny. Okay, they are funny so long as they go on for less than 10 seconds.
Agreed. The joke goes on too long, just like the railroad worker joke.
System there.
The ancient city. They're interesting, exciting, and most importantly, dangerous. And in age where Minecraft continues to get easier, ancient cities offer a challenge that you can't find anywhere else. They also have the worst loot in the entire game. To illustrate...
Hard disagree.
I also disagree, but it is for a different reason.
First of all, jungle temples exist, okay? Like, jungle temples, significantly worse.
Yes, jungle temples are worse. Enchanted books too, but enchanted apples and armor trims are good loot. Only finding pants is bad IMO, and swift sneak is not as valuable as the Hayze makes it out to be.
One shot you in full netherite armor.
Hang on, did you just notice that?
Finally, enchanted golden apples. What?
He's missing something. He didn't mention swift sneak. Like, the best thing about the ancient city.
No, enchanted apples and trims are more valuable. Swift sneak is nice to have, but getting it is a secondary objective for me.
As well. Saying you're going to list every reward from an ancient city and then leaving off the most important things is a bad idea for many reasons, and also straight up scummy, as we'll get to in a bit. And there's no way this wasn't intentional. There's no way you're going to seriously convince me he managed to remember the ancient city has leads and glowberries, but forgot the bit of treasure it's most known for. So
this was a bad move. I agree, he should have double-checked the loot tables.
I'll be keeping a lie counter up in the top left and increasing it every time he says something that's objectively false.
How could you have forgotten to talk about the...
Oh, swift sneak.
You wish.
Okay.
Recovery.
Oh. Never mind. I forgot about the recovery compass.
Because the recovery compass is worthless if you have any sense of direction and don't die a lot. The compass is in a bad spot for the people who need it.
Ooh. This is also useful. I know he's going to say it's not, because I know he said that before. Recovery compass is good. Seriously. You know, even in the late game, you're going to be dying. It's going to happen. You fall into a mob farm. You get into a PvP match.
Falling into a mob farm means you know where you died. Same with a PvP match, assuming it was planned, and if it wasn't, your loot is gone anyways.
Since they're already skilled enough to obtain it, and those...
Okay, I've never gotten this argument. Do you know how many times people die when they're in the ancient city? To the compass. Even then, like, what if they refight the Ender Dragon and then they get, like, you know how it, like, launches you super far into the sky? What if, like, what if that happens or something? I don't know. And then they need to locate where their items are super fast on the End Island.
If you die in the city, you should know where your loot is unless you don't mark where you have been. And the End Island is only 150-ish blocks big depending on the seed. Taking the recovery compass would be pointless unless you died somewhere like the outer end or in a random nether spot.
And you'll end up with the ancient city.
Okay, I can't help but notice, again, that you still have not mentioned swift sneak, which would at least double the reward from going to an ancient... Like, it should at least be up here.
Hard disagree. Swift sneak is being made out to be like sharpness 4 or 5 and mending in value. It is a good enchant, but not that good.
Player visit an ancient city. Well,
probably
since
like
the Warden is probably the most dangerous mob in the entire game, I would argue you should visit it during the late game, probably sometime after you've defeated the Ender Dragon.
Sure, agreed. But here is where I start having some real problems.
So to make sure it's locked to that stage of the game, we're going to introduce the...
Wait, locked?
Yeah, locked. Locking any kind of overworld exploration until late game is crazy. It undermines the whole reason people like the game, a sandbox, progress how you want, when you want, do what you want.
Abyss Explorer map. It gives you the...
Alright, I'm down for this.
The Explorer map is a good idea.
Location of one of these ancient cities, and just like the other Explorer maps, can be purchased from a cartographer village. But here's the twist. He'll only be able to give you that trade after the Ender Dragon has been defeated.
This part is fucking stupid.
The only real restrictions on movement are portals. The Nether portal, you need at least 3 iron for a bucket. And for the End portal, you need to have gone to the Nether and killed some blazes. And that's it. Those are the only requirements.
And those should remain the only requirements.
Again, there's always the chance that someone just stumbles upon one by accident. So to solve that problem,
That is not a problem by any stretch of the imagination.
There's still one more question we need to answer. What reward does it offer? End up obtaining unnecessarily powerful armor, we're going to introduce a form of XP storage. Meet the Skulk File. It's crafted with 7 Echo Shards and can hold up to 1,395 experience points, which equates to exactly 30 levels. By shift right clicking, you can instantly store any amount of XP you want, throw it in a chest, and save it for later.
This is an excellent idea. However, the problem of players who are skilled enough to get it want needed is still there, but it would still be nice to have, and I would rather have it than the compass.
Woodland Mansion, okay? What if the Woodland Mansion has a little bit of loot from every other structure in the game? Like, they take it back, and then that's in the chest.
This would make the mansion the best structure in theory, and would be the most fun.
But first, I have a very special announcement to make. You may have noticed in the last few clips that the items I'm talking about are, actually real. I'm not just talking out of my ass anymore.
Yeah.
And that's because I've decided to code them into my very own mod. That's right.
Oh, cool.
I've shipped 10 Taiwanese sweatshop workers directly to my house to code this mod from my basement. It's available to download now on my Patreon.
Wait, this is a paid mod.
Not only is this bad for the modding community, and sets a bad standard, but it is also a EULA violation. Mojang and Microsoft could terminate your Microsoft account and maybe seek damages in court.
See, Minecraft's End User License Agreement, or EULA, prohibits the sale of any third-party content related to the game. This means that you can distribute mods and servers for free, but if you put a price tag on them, that's illegal. If you look at a summary right here, there's a section that very clearly states, any mods you create for Minecraft Java Edition from scratch belong to you, including pre-run mods and in-memory mods. And you can do whatever you want with them, as long as you don't sell them for money / try to make money from them. From my
The appropriate way to plug the Patreon would have been to tell people it helps pay for the development and make it early access on Patreon, not lock the mod altogether behind a paywall.
cut. To address the pinned comment, JetStarfish said that he paid hundreds of dollars for this mod to be created. I'm sorry to say, dude, but I think you got ripped off. Most of the features you suggested in this video would involve changing like one number in a single line of code.
If you know what you're doing, you could make this mod in a day, and it could even be a data pack.
So to summarize, JetStarfish transparently lied about the game in an attempt to make it more appealing for you to illegally buy a tiny and completely outclassed mod from him for $8. The Aristocrats! I guess while we're shamelessly plugging ourselves, it'd be cool if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Mine too.
Need obsidian to get to the nether? Go underground and mine for it. Caves are overflowing with useful items to the player, whereas the surface has pretty much just two things, food and wood.
Okay, but what about the nether? Those are also biomes, and they have a ton of unique resources. Quartz, very pretty, useful in some very important redstone devices. You got tons of gold, way easier than finding it in the overworld generally. You got nether fortresses, nether brick, that's like a super cool building block. Both of the nether wood types, shroom lights, gas tiers, blaze rods, like tons of great stuff in the nether. Basalt, blackstone. Yeah, I don't know. You spend a lot of time in the nether too.
I think he meant for the chart to be overworld specific.
It's far too easy to get everything you need from one specific area. Trees and animals can be found almost anywhere. Every biome spawns the same amount of ores. When every biome...
Well, hang on, that is not even remotely true.
Mesas, mountains, and dripstone caves have altered or generation.
We're going to add underground biomes.
Okay.
Fuck was that?
Yeah, we already did that.
Why are you at my house?
We added a few different cave variants, but it didn't work for some reason.
That is a load of shit. Caves and cliffs world generation change and the new biomes were the best thing Mojang could have done to get the overworld on par with the Nether. I think they deserve more credit for cave and cliffs even if they had to split the update.
You're not going to be traveling out to a Badlands biome for 5 extra gold ingots.
I always go to mesas for gold when I don't have gear for the Nether, or if I want red sand too.
This is because deserts are often sites of ancient ocean basins, which when filled by surrounding rivers with sediments containing organic remains offer just the right conditions for oil and gas to form. Yeah, I studied plate tectonics to find out which Minecraft biome was more likely to have coal.
Good, that's what you are supposed to do.
If you're curious, here's how I mapped it out for every other biome in the game.
Time to see how good your research is. Copper from hydrothermal vents, iron already does that. Birch forests are bland so sure, desert looks good. Lapis is fine but could also have a boost in savannas, redstone looks okay, same with diamond. It took me 15 minutes to find real-world distributions of these.
It feels a little underpowered. Lapis is like very few uses. Actually, you know what? That's one thing I never hear mentioned. Everyone complains about how copper is useless.
Copper could be expanded but I think it's fine how it is. Lapis is just rock so having it be used for anything non-magical wouldn't make sense. It could use some new variations in the stone cutter though. And for the magic side, it could be used to make potions last as long as a level 1 while having the power of level 2. But I would tie that to an item that uses lapis in the recipe, not to the raw lapis to avoid it being overpowered.
I'd made it so that coal could only be found.
Wait a second. Oh my god, this makes everything so much fucking worse. Okay, so look at how this is phrased. So to make certain trades more common in certain biomes, you would also have to be making all of the other trades less common in those biomes. Let's say it goes from, I don't know, a 2% chance of getting mending to like a 30% chance of getting mending.
Librarians have an equal chance to sell any book at 2.6% rounded to 3. That's 10 times the odds and that's fucking crazy.
It means that all of the other trades besides mending get pushed down. Villager trades. 50% of the time you're going to get one of those. You know what this does? It means that if the player wants to get mending, it just means that they're going to be breaking the lectern to get mending for twice as long.
That's assuming the hyper-inflated odds of 10 times rather than a 3 to 5% boost.
I don't really see the problem with fully restricting villagers. I think it's the much more balanced approach.
That goes against what you were saying about the ancient city. Fully restricting anything is a bad idea.
I'm firing this guy.
Okay, I might end up agreeing with him more on this one. Transportation is a bit broken in Minecraft, I'll admit.
Okay, 13! The horse update is released, which, as you can tell,
horses.
Adds horses, a new mode of transport that's faster than minecart. In 2016, flying is now a vanilla mechanic. Because that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, why not?
At least it's hard to get, right? Jesus Christ. We're going to replace the gold in the powered rail recipe with copper. We're not just going to stop there. Let's take the old gold powered rail recipe.
If Mojang made normal powered rails use copper and a better rail use gold, that would make them okay transportation. If we got the ability to tie carts together to make a train, that would make them great for moving a large amount of supplies.
You're able to achieve ungodly speeds.
Yeah, and that's fun.
Remember those minecart changes we made earlier? Well, with the superpowered rails, as well as the general speed boost, you'll be going at a max speed of about 40 miles an hour. Ice mode roads are 107.
Packed ice should melt in the nether and blue ice should not. This would balance nether highways.
Again, the mod containing all of the...
Yep, and this reminder, this whole video is an ad. So, final thoughts in the video. It was so much worse than I thought it would be. JetStarfish consistently lied throughout the entire thing.
A lot was cut out of this video, so make sure to go watch the other two. Like, comment, subscribe.